welcome to Coffee Meets Murder, the podcast where dark stories seep slowly into your morning brew. I'm Levon.
Oh, and I'm Janelis.
There you go. And today's case is equal parts terrifying and tragic.
Ooh.
This isn't a story about a serial killer. There's no cross-country chase or extended trial. This is the story of a man whose life looked perfect from the outside, a man who held life in his hands every day as a respected doctor, a husband, a father, and a provider. But under the surface, his carefully curated world was crumbling. And one winter morning in 1959, it shattered in the most horrific way imaginable. It was a long time ago.
I see that.
Today, we delve into the haunting story of Dr. Harold Pearson, the man behind the Los Feliz murder house, a place that stood frozen in time for over half a century.
Why?
Why what?
Why would it stay frozen in time?
I wrote that.
Oh, okay.
Later on.
No.
We'll explore his upbringing, his seemingly prosperous life, the quiet decline of his mental health, the brutal crime he committed, and how one horrifying moment has cast a lingering shadow over an entire neighborhood. So pour your coffee, lock your doors. Harold Nathan Pearson was born in Brooklyn, New York in 1909 to a Jewish immigrant family of Polish descent. Not much is documented about his early family life, but we know he grew up in a modest, working-class household where education, discipline, and success were seen as the surest way out of poverty. Harold was extremely bright, quiet, introverted, and bookish. He spent much of his youth reading and studying. He developed a keen interest in biology and chemistry, and by his early 20s, it was clear he had the discipline and intellect to pursue a medical career. He enrolled at Cornell University before eventually transferring to the University of Southern California to pursue medicine.
What year was this again?
He was born in 1909. So if he's in his 20s, 1929.
So okay. Prohibition.
Yeah. It was here he found his footing and also found the woman he would eventually marry, Lillian Silver, a kind and supportive young woman from a Jewish family in Long Beach.
Okay, so he seems like a regular dude.
The couple married in 1930s. And soon settled in Los Angeles, where Harold quickly began climbing the ranks in the medical field. By the late 1940s, Harold had made a name for himself as a respected cardiologist and biochemistry professor at USC's School of Medicine. He was smart, ambitious, and known among colleagues as extremely professional. Although he was a bit stiff and a little distant, he began publishing a medical journal, became involved in several innovative medical projects, including the development of surgical tools and devices. Meanwhile, his home life seemed idyllic. He and Lillian had 3 children, Judy, the eldest daughter, Joel, their son, and Debbie, the youngest. Lillian was a devoted housewife, elegant, kind, and deeply involved in raising the children. She supported Harold's work, but was also known for having a keen eye for appearances and reputation, as everybody did in 1930.
Right. Mm-hmm.
In 1956, the Pearsons purchased their dream home, a grand Spanish Revival mansion at 2475 Glendower Place in the prestigious Los Feliz neighborhood. The home had been built in the 1920s and featured sweeping staircases, arched doorways, floor-to-ceiling windows, and panoramic views of downtown Los Angeles. From the
That's like houses nowadays.
Well, yeah.
Arched doorways and like huge up and down windows. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that
ahead of its time.
Yeah, exactly. From the outside, they were the definition of the American dream. Well-educated, wealthy, stylish, and close-knit. But the facade was already cracking.
What was going on inside?
Oh, you're about to find out. Despite appearances, Harold was under enormous financial stress. Around 1955, he
was like a massive, well-known doctor. How was he?
Well, he was a respected doctor.
Right, but like, how was he? He's still a doctor. How is he in financial issues?
He had invested a large sum of money, nearly all of his savings, into developing patenting a disposable syringe valve, which if you look it up, it's already been created, like now in 2025.
Right.
But a device he believed would have revolutionized the medical industry, which theoretically it did. He partnered with a man he trusted who later plagiarized the concept and attempted to claim sole ownership.
Okay.
Harold sued him, but legal battles dragged on for years while he eventually won a $24,000 settlement The cost of litigation nearly bankrupted him.
Someone was trying to steal his idea.
Yeah, his partner stole his idea.
Oh.
And kind of went on and be like, oh no, I created it. I did
that's
this
not nice.
all by himself. Yeah. He lost a lot of money.
He already had no money.
This because he poured all of it into it.
Oh my goodness.
Desperate to stay afloat, Harold began borrowing money from friends, business contacts, and even from his children's college trust funds. He took out loans against the house, which strained his marriage and family stability.
Oh my God, that's horrible.
Yeah. Lillian began showing signs of stress, and Harold became increasingly withdrawn, reportedly suffering from insomnia, depression, and episodes of paranoia. He became erratic.
Why is he paranoid?
The paranoid part, I don't know. Unless he was like, oh my God, my friends are gonna, oh my God, they're gonna come get me.
Right? Or like his money was from some bad people that want to do bad things to him later
And he's
on
scared
because
that
he can't pay them back. But where's the paranoia from if he just gambled it all the way?
No, that he's gonna die because of the people he borrowed money from.
Is that what it is?
No, it never said that, but
no, but I mean,
that's just what he suffered from.
Oh, okay.
He's a doctor, you know.
Right, anxiety.
Now it's just anxiety. Yeah. He became erratic, often wandering the house at night. He began taking heavy doses of Nembutal, a barbiturate used to treat severe anxiety and insomnia, along with codeine.
Nice to know people back then were also suffering from major anxiety. It's like a thing now.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know, there was a thing they said that the high school kids nowadays have the same level of anxiety than mental patients had back in 19 whatever.
Yes.
In 1959, things took a darker turn. He suffered what doctors would later describe as a nervous breakdown, requiring brief psychiatric treatment. Yet even with these signs, no one expected what would happen next.
Oh my God, what happened next?
Oh, on December 6, 1959, it was a chilly December morning in Los Angeles. The Pearsons were preparing for the holidays. A small Christmas tree sat in the living room with wrapped gifts tucked underneath. Judy, then 18, had returned home from college for winter break. Joel and Debbie, aged 13 and 11, were in their rooms. That night, around 4:30 a.m., Harold quietly rose from bed. He walked to the garage, retrieved a ball-peen hammer, and returned to the master bedroom where Lillian was sleeping. Without hesitation, he brought the hammer down on her head with immense force. Allegedly, she died instantly.
Jesus.
Her skull crushed, blood seeping into the bedsheets.
Well, I would assume so.
Then Harold moved into Judy's bedroom. He struck her on the head hard, but she screamed, kicked, and managed to break free. Bloodied and terrified, she ran from the house, barefoot, pounding on neighbors' doors, yelling, "My father is trying to kill me." One neighbor called police, as they should. Another comforted Judy as she bled from a head wound. The community was stunned into action. Back in the house, Harold had not gone after Joel or Debbie. Instead, he went into the bathroom, swallowed an enormous quantity of Nembutal and codeine, and laid down to die. When officers arrived at around 5 a.m., they were greeted by neighbors and traumatized Judy. They entered the Pearson home cautiously. Inside the house was silent. They found Lillian's body in the bed, her face destroyed, the pillows soaked with blood. Judy's room was in disarray. Her bed smeared with blood from the struggle. In the upstairs bathroom, Harold lay dead on the floor. Fully clothed, on the counter were 2 open bottles, one of Nembutal and one of codeine. A copy of Dante's Divine Comedy was beside him, open to a bookmarked passage that read, "Midway upon the journey of our life, I found myself within a forest dark, for the straightforward path had been lost." Officers then found Joel and Debbie, unharmed but shaken, still in their beds. The coroner confirmed the obvious. Lillian died of blunt force trauma. Harold died of self-administered overdose. The crime had been premeditated, but not entirely completed. His plan was to kill everybody.
But he killed himself before.
Yeah, I guess it was more of a his daughter ran.
Oh.
She got away, and he was like, "Well, that's his plan."
Well.
You know,
he's gonna die anyways.
Yeah, he was like, "I might as well do it right now. It is what it is."
That's crazy. Why would somebody do that? Like, you wake up and...
Well, his life was going downhill.
Like, right, but like as the wife, you know, you have to see that coming, no?
Dude, this is 1959. You could see that coming now.
Maybe.
After like 7,000 murders have happened already.
I get it.
But, you know.
I mean, I guess the state of mind you have to be in to do all that stuff.
Exactly.
I guess.
He had a breakdown, although, I mean, people break down all the time.
Yeah, daily over here.
Judy spent weeks recovering from her injuries, both physically and emotional. Eventually, she and her siblings were taken in by relatives and moved out of state. They changed their names and tried to start new lives, avoiding public attention. To this day, none of their surviving Pearson children have spoken publicly about that night. But the house remained. It's still standing there. The Pearson mansion sat unoccupied for decades. The family that inherited chose not to sell it, nor did they move in. Christmas presents from 1959 remained under the tree. Old magazines still rested on the coffee table. Dishes stayed in the cupboards. It was like a museum frozen in time.
The house just stayed the way. Doesn't that happen in most crime places? Like
no.
when they're in houses?
No. So
no.
For example, the apartment building where Jeffrey Dahmer lived, they tore the entire apartment building down. After some time, but they tore it down.
I feel like in most cases where this happens, like a wife and a husband die or something, I feel like houses do stay frozen in time.
No, they get sold.
You think so?
Yeah, there's states.
I would not want to live in a house where you sold it to me after a murder.
You know what? There's states that have rules when they sell houses where they have to tell you.
Right, I feel like
there's states that don't. So you could literally just buy a house
and not know what happened before.
Bro, and the dad or the mom could have committed like
and then I'm just hanging out with ghosts?
Yeah, pretty much.
Absolutely not. Oh my goodness.
You got tickled your feet in the middle of the night.
Don't say that.
Over the years, the house became a true crime legend. Tourists would drive up Glendower Place just to see it. Urban explorers tried to sneak inside. Paranormal enthusiasts claimed it was haunted, but no one lived there. Until 2016, when a new buyer finally purchased the property. The house was renovated, the insides gutted, but the legend undead. So why did Harold do it? It's obviously the question everybody.
Right. That's a question in any case. Why did they do it?
Right. So experts believe a combination of severe depression, financial collapse, and a perceived failure led him to snap. Letters found in the house suggested he believed suicide was his only escape and that his family might be better off dead than ruined. Some investigators believe Harold intended to kill his entire family, then himself, that he believed it was a mercy. Judy's unexpected escape may have disrupted the plan and accelerated his suicide. His obsession with control, appearances, and saving face, paired with untreated mental illness, created a perfect storm. For nearly 60 years, the Pearsons' home stood as a silent monument to one's family's collapse. It became the Los Angeles' most infamous crime scene. Not for its gore, but for its silence. There were no further murders, no trial, no resolution, only a house untouched by time and a family whose name faded into mystery. The case continues to haunt true crime fans, historians, and curious locals alike. Not just because of what happened, but because of what left behind.
So, how advanced is like police investigation at this point, do you think?
Pretty advanced.
You think it's pretty advanced? But there's no motive.
Compared to 1959? I think.
No, not now. How advanced do you think it was in 1959? Not that this was like a murder case where they were trying to find the murderer.
Right.
This is more like he was having a bad time in his life, and so he decided to just, do what he did. But yeah, there's just no motive. There was no letter. There was nothing.
No, well, they found letters and stuff around the house, and not that says like, "Oh, I'm going to kill myself." No, I'm
saying like of what, like a letter or like a note of saying why he did it. Sometimes they do that, so it's like weird.
Well, there could have been. Again, I feel like in 1959, the police would have collected that letter that said, "Oh, I did this because of this."
That's what I'm saying.
There isn't one.
To our knowledge, there isn't one. So,
but the house did remain for a long time by itself. And people have
so anybody, and if they wanted to reinvestigate to find something, they could have.
Correct.
And they didn't?
No,
they just left it there.
That was it. I mean, it's pretty.
So then the house,
the actual crime scene is pretty like
self-explanatory. What happened?
Yeah, the guy tried to kill here. He tried to kill the girl.
But it's just eerie that they would just leave the house there untouched.
Nobody wanted it.
I guess it was.
Remember, you have to clean the house because the blood is there. The cops are not going to clean the blood, so they remove the body. Yeah, but the blood on the bed sheets, it's going to stay there. The blood in the he didn't kill himself like that. He endured the stupid pills.
Right. The only
the blood in the girl's room, it's going to stay there. Whatever she dripped down the staircase and everything.
What happened with his daughter?
They all changed their names.
Oh.
So we have no idea. Well, if it's 1959, bro, now his daughter, the one that got hit, I mean, she's either an extremely old lady or, she has passed since then. And the other kids, I'm sure they're either extremely old or they have passed since then.
Hopefully they were able to live regular lives as much as they can.
Yeah. It'd be nice to visit the house though, right?
Yeah, like a ghost tour. That'd be
noted down.
Noted down. Do they even have it as a museum thing?
No,
of course not. I wouldn't want to watch it from the outside. I feel like the wife is just staring at me from like
they read it exactly
a window. No, oh my god.
You see the lady right there in the corner.
That's crazy.